So I'm sure you've seen by now, but I'm going to show you again anyway. 2 days ago, this happened. Let's get the video lined up. So 2 days ago, this happened.
Мы, конечно, посмотрели, что это за люди. Мы знаем, кто они такие уже. Мы их нашли. Ну, надеюсь, что они сами появятся и сами себе расскажут. Будет.
I hope they show up. Look at him smiling. Look at him smiling.
Лучше для всех.
Honestly, this guy is trolling now. He's just trolling the West. I think he's had enough of the bullshit and he's just trolling. I really do. He knew where these guys were. He knew all about
Ничего
them.
там особенного и криминального нет, уверяю вас. Ну, посмотрим в ближайшее время.
Они гражданские?
Что?
Они гражданские?
Не слышу.
Гражданские?
Гражданские, конечно. Ну, конечно.
So there he is.
Ну ладно.
They are civilians.
Давайте
Oh,
вернемся
there's a little bit
спокойно
more.
к
Вот
Восточному
я
фронту.
и хочу к ним обратиться,
Oh, he makes a joke at the end. That
чтобы
was
они
very
услышали
funny.
сегодня.
People laughed. But yeah, so that was 2 days ago. And then yesterday we get excerpts of an interview that they had done with RT. Well, what a surprise. What a surprise. So Putin says he knows who they are, and lo and behold, they appear the very next day. Now, I saw the excerpts. I was flat on my back, and I saw the excerpts, I saw the videos, watched them in bed, and I must admit I thought you're being he was talking about the question about the cathedral, and I must admit I thought you're being far too specific there. There's people who lie always pick specifics out, you know, and go too far. But anyway, these two guys are Ruslan Boshirov and Alexander Petrov, and there they are up there over my shoulder, and that's their real names. We were told that they were GRU agents and they were travelling on fake passports. It's interesting, isn't it? Okay, so I watched excerpts of it and it looked a little bit dodgy, but today I watched the full 27-minute interview. So I think it's about 22 minutes or something like that is of an interview, and the rest is just like an advert for RT. But I think once you watch the whole interview, you can get a better gauge of what is actually going on here, because we're not getting told the truth from either side here, obviously. So first of all, they explain why they visited Salisbury, and they say that they visit Salisbury because Salisbury is a tourist attraction, and that they were going to visit Stonehenge and the weather was bad. Now, all of that does actually make sense. It does make sense, but that could have been a cover story anyway. Obviously, an agent would watch your cover story if it all gets blown. My cover story is XYZ. Okay, so that could be a cover story anyway. So there are excuses with regards to that, but their excuse could be that, hey, we were just tourists. So what are they? Are they just tourists? It's so funny watching this, because it's almost like none of the actors in this story are telling the truth. Any of them. None of them at all. The only one really who's been close to the truth is actually Putin, because he said, well, we know who they are, and then they turned up. Anyway, so they talked about how they travel regularly for work, as well as a tourist, but they travel regularly for work, and that started me thinking, because they were really, they did not want to answer any questions at all, none at all, on their work or anything they did for business, because they didn't want to talk about other people would have to get involved in that sort of thing. So straight away I'm thinking, well, if you really do just work in the health industry, then that's a load of baloney, unless they're, I don't know, selling those supplements that aren't exactly on approval lists, shall we say. If that's the case and they were doing something dodgy there, who knows. But here's the thing. I also think that there's some people have said that their gaydar was going off, and these two guys, first of all, if they are a couple, so what? Second of all, if they are a couple, then they're definitely not GRU agents. That's for sure. And there's one thing that they did say which doesn't corroborate with what our government is saying, and that's the timestamp on this photo, because they say they actually walked through there together. They didn't walk through. You see here, there's two separate ones, and that's the way it was explained to us. But they say that they actually both walked through one of them. So they said that we would have to ask the authorities to explain that and not them. So it's all quite confusing still. But once you watch the whole video, and I'm sure anybody who has watched the whole video will corroborate this, I got the overwhelming feeling that they were absolutely petrified. Both of them. Especially the guy on the left. They were petrified. They genuinely did not think that any of this, I think, was around the corner. And it certainly doesn't scream to me that they are some sort of undercover GRU agent at all. So that sort of blows all the theories out the water. They're bewildered, both of them, as to what's going on, is what I'm trying to say. Now, I don't believe any of them with regards to their health stuff that they do for their business. Just, they didn't want to talk about it. You could see something was scratched beneath the surface and there was something there, and that's why they weren't trying to sell something. But other than that, their story does seem plausible, that they, you know, visited Salisbury because it's a cathedral and that it's a big tourist attraction, and that could be the case. It's not as if I'm going to rule that out. It could be, but it also could be the cover story that a spy would give anyway. Not that I'm saying they're spies, they're definitely not, that's for sure. And that's what troubles me. But even though that troubles me, it doesn't change the story one bit in my mind anyway. Because this whole Skripal story, really, if it was a play, which is the way I look at it, it's like a movie being played out in front of me. I'm just trying to guess the ending of it. These two guys are just bit part players. Because, as I've said before, and I keep pointing to, this is all connected to Christopher Steele. That's the key point here. And as we know, Christopher Steele, he's, I think, one of the main actors in this play. And he's where we need to keep our attention. If you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe and click the bell below. Independent media platforms like mine are being censored by giant media such as Facebook and Google, so we rely on you, our audience, to share our work and spread the word. If you can, please support us on Patreon. You can do it on my channel for as little as $1 a month, and every bit helps. We cannot do this without your support. Thanks very much for your support. It's really appreciated. Until next time, peace and take care.